What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Infinity Gaming. I am Doublepulse. I am here with AfroMackTV. And
What's happening?
oh man, what an exciting week for gaming. Like, I feel like this last week, we pretty much just got a whole bunch of reveals, announcements, and all that. We're going to be covering the Summer Games Fest general event, but in today's video we're going to actually try to focus on the Xbox One, give our thoughts on all the different releases, and give a score as to whether the Xbox showcase was good, whether it was meh, or whether it was, it was trash. So, started off, I don't know, did you see much of what was being announced from Xbox?
Yeah, and I can honestly say is it was real man for me for Xbox. Like, I mean, yeah, they had Starfield and they had the new Star Wars game, Forza, of course, because I don't know why they just don't want to get rid of that game. I don't like Forza
I've
at
never
all.
understood
And
Forza.
then and then what they we just got the little announcement for
Yep,
Fable.
Fable.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of excited for that. It's been a minute since we had a Fable. That's
Yeah,
one of the games that really just got my
it
attention.
was like the first thing they dropped too, and I feel like if
Hmm.
it wasn't for Fable, if it wasn't for Starfield, and then maybe I think one or two other games that I'll mention, I feel like
Yeah,
Xbox is kind of meh, but not necessarily bad either.
I say it's like the trailer to Fable was still. I'm gonna be honest, was whack.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I think they only dropped it because people have been waiting and been asking about it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I hope they actually put work into the game. I honestly do.
Right.
But I feel like the trailer was really lackluster.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm putting up the trailer up here right now, and I feel like well, my biggest concern with the trailer is that one, it claims that it's in-game footage, but there's nothing about this trailer for me that screams that it's in-game footage. Like, we don't
Right.
have anything to go off of. Like, I want to see actual gameplay, the interface, and to actually see how it's gonna look before and I don't know what about it. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks good, but there's some elements of it that just still feel off. Like, I don't know what
Right.
Fable this time around is gonna go for. And I'll be real, in a weird way, it kind of looks a little bit like Hogwarts Legacy does, but less Hogwartsy. If you get what I'm saying.
My thing was it's like, and then they do this little like Jack and the Beanstalk type tease. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
yeah, like see, look, like Jack and the Beanstalk type stuff. Like, okay, so what happened before with the previous trailer a few years back?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about you gonna be able to choose between four heroes that got different types of abilities and all that stuff. To now, there's an actual main character now.
It's
You know
almost
what I'm
like
saying?
they
And my
changed the game.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. My thing is though, okay, so it's clear we're gonna be fighting giants. That's what they're showing. But are we gonna be able to create a character? Are y'all gonna stick with your four heroes that we pick from?
Hmm.
What is going on? Because they're flip flopping, and honestly, it just looks like a big cry for help because Xbox is straight losing the PlayStation when it comes to exclusives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This has to be a really good exclusive for people to go out and want
Man,
to buy a Xbox, you know?
yeah, like I used to be a Xbox person. You know what I'm saying? Like my first console was a PS2, but when the 360 came out, I was diehard Xbox, and then they just fell off.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like straight fell off.
Exactly.
I don't know what happened, but it's like it seemed like more so they only care about freaking their TV apps and stuff like that more than they games.
Well,
Like,
it's ironic
shoot.
it's actually ironic you mentioned that. And I know it's not directed nearly at, Xbox's showcase, but what's so funny
Mhm.
is even PlayStation has a whole media thing on lockdown when it comes to that, but Going back
Mm,
with how I feel about Fable, is there are certain things from previous entries that I like that I hope that they have returned, such as the morality
mhm.
system, the fact that you would cosmetically grow horns, and there was a lot of things in Fable back
Yeah.
then that I hope can get brought back and worked into it. But
Mhm.
the Xbox, in terms of showcasing this does feel like it is just clearly not going to be released anytime soon.
It's straight lackluster. It was
Mhm.
just something to keep the fans at bay
Yeah,
because they're really not working on nothing
right.
significant. Right.
Star Wars Outlaws, I think, is probably going to be one of the games that does best. But let's be
Yeah.
real here for a second.
But then again, it's not even an exclusive for them
That's
though. It's gonna be on everything.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like they just wanted to feel special being the ones to put the trailer out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Which we'll
Shoot.
probably cover more when we talk about the Ubisoft conference, but that's just how I feel. Is it feels like a lot of what we had for Xbox is are going to be on other platforms already. And it's
Hmm.
not bad, but at the same time I'm thinking to myself, like, what if they're going to make a really good showcase, give me something that I can't get anywhere else that's going to make me get excited, and it's hard for me to do that when I know most of these titles are going to be available. But going
Yeah.
forward, I guess because we know Xbox doesn't really have a whole load of exclusives, out of what was shown in the conference, what excites you the most in terms of gameplay and what they've shown?
Star Wars and Fable. I hope they do well on Fable, but that trailer was just too. I'm glad that they brought it up, but that trailer was just too lackluster for me. Like there was nothing interesting about that trailer at all. Cyberpunk, boy, I'm on the last mission and I refuse to beat this game until this DLC about to drop. Okay, Cyberpunk was real rough when it came out, but now I can honestly say it's one of my favorite games. I ain't gonna lie. It's a good open world first person shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? The loot, the
Hmm.
guns. They got some interesting weapons on there, and the augmentations you could do to yourself
Hmm.
on the game is pretty dope too.
I think the story. I played Cyberpunk a bit. I haven't finished the game yet, but I've been playing that on the mix of PlayStation and my Steam Deck. And
Mm.
from just the performance from everybody, obviously Keanu Reeves playing Johnny Silverhand, but everything about this game, it's crazy how Cyberpunk kind of took a complete 180. It started out hella rough where nobody wanted to touch it, to now like everybody is jumping on it because they've done so many changes to improve the game.
Yeah, which is good, but if they had dropped it originally for what I'm saying, new gen consoles and PC only, they wouldn't have had so many freaking problems. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? But they wanted to drop it on Xbox One and PS4. It's like you already knew they already knew where everybody was starting to move away from that. So you know what I'm saying? Like I get you trying to include all consoles, but
Hmm.
it's just new gen and PC is way too powerful,
Yeah.
especially with what they use in these games now. To where I'm sorry, PS4, Xbox One
Hmm.
just got to get left on the shelf now.
Games that they shown off that like Xbox showcase, I really didn't care too much about. I don't really care about City Skylines 2. I'm not much of a like flight simulator type of dude either.
I just it's like Xbox's showcases for the past couple of years have been nothing but really like it's been like indie games.
Hmm. Well,
You know what I'm saying? And some hard hitters, but you know what I'm saying, y'all no
right.
exclusives. No exclusives. That's mainly what people watch the showcases for is
Hmm.
exclusives.
Clockwork Revolution. This game definitely gives me sort of like the Bioshock Infinite vibes,
Yeah, yeah, it gave that to me too.
but I absolutely think that out of all of this one, outside of your typical ones that we already knew were gonna be exciting, this is the only one that was
You
new.
see how they got to put at the bottom? It's not Bioshock.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot, it's because everybody want a new Bioshock, bro. And y'all playing?
I mean, it almost seems like the minute this trailer started, people are gonna go, "Hey, is this BioShock?" I thought it was BioShock. I legit thought it was BioShock, but
I did too. I'm not gonna even gonna hold you. I thought it was like a DLC or something.
right. But I think what I find fascinating about this is this whole sort of like changing the past type deal where
Hmm.
you could change the decisions that are made and it changes the environment. So I'm curious to see how this is going to pan out. But outside of your typical ones that we were all anticipating for, this is the only one that kind of like struck me as I'm kind of interested in this. There's like a steampunk feel to this. At the end of the showcase, they also shown something off, such as the Xbox Series S in carbon black. Like, cool,
Uh huh.
okay, it's a Series S. If you didn't have an Xbox and you wanted it in black, I would go for it. I
My thing is though, I don't see the
I
point.
don't
Like, you
either.
know what I mean? Games that y'all done took off of the Series S because the Series S ain't as powerful.
Wait, they're taking games off the Series X?
What was it? Like Naraka Blade Point,
Mhm.
the battle royale that's on Xbox and PC
Yeah.
right now. You know what I'm saying? They had to take it off of Xbox Series S because it wasn't as powerful as it was on the regular Xbox Series X.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even waste your time getting that thing. Just get a Series X.
I
That's it.
feel
That's all. That's what I'm about to do.
I feel like that's actually probably the right case anyway, especially if you're looking to get into Xbox. But I think
Hmm.
going back to it, it's hard to justify wanting to switch to Xbox. Like,
Hmm.
I've to be honest with you, like I have been looking for an opportunity to make the full on switch to Xbox, but the thing is Xbox hasn't.
Like, I still got my account on Xbox and everything. I got a freaking Xbox One S right here
Mhm.
that I don't use because aside from Gears of War, Halo, Naraka Blade Point, which I can't even play on that thing no more. There's no point. There's no point.
So you're not you don't even play your Xbox at all?
I just used it for TV. That's
Really?
it. So I played a couple games on there, but it's like shoot, and then it's like you know what I'm saying. Y'all also hanging yourselves because y'all got that Xbox Game Pass PC.
Mhm.
If I could just get all the Xbox games on my PC, then what I need an Xbox for?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're hurting the Xbox are hurting themselves.
Mhm.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem with them nowadays. They're hurting themselves.
Mhm.
They got the Xbox Game Pass on PC. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit buggy sometimes, but it's on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the whole point in releasing a slim version for your consoles is you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like when the PS2 Slims came out. They were just as powerful. They were just
Mhm.
lighter and didn't require a big ass fan that end up breaking later on in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, what I find interesting with the so I have a Series S and I have a PlayStation.
Hmm.
And when I look into my Series S, I don't even have that thing plugged up and hooked up right now because
Hmm.
I there isn't really anything gravitating to want me to re-sign up for Game Pass. But my
Hmm.
issue isn't necessarily that like they are what's funny about the specifications in the hardware in both systems is that the hardware is almost identical with the exception I think the clock speeds and the processing power that they give to it. Like,
Hmm.
I don't quite understand why the Series S couldn't just utilize the Series X's full potential. Like, maybe I'm missing something here, but if I'm right.
My whole thing was though when the slim versions of the consoles came out initially, they were faster than their original
Yeah.
consoles. That was the point. It didn't take that much for them to be faster than their original consoles. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if it was PS2, Xbox 360. You know what I'm saying? You got a slim version of the console, it was moving faster than the original.
Right.
Shoot,
There would
so
be they'd
I don't
improve
know
the fan
what they
noise.
doing.
They would also make these minor improvements. Like it might not be the hardware might not be different, but they make certain adjustments to it where the experience in buying a slimmer console feels good. And the problem with the
Mhm,
Series S is one, you don't even have a disk drive. So if you're not even looking to buy any sort of games on there and you're looking for the digital option, I feel like the Series S was just their attempt on trying to capitalize on just anybody who's getting just for Game Pass and digital
mhm.
only, which I feel is a huge understep when you can just get the Series X. And
But my thing is though, if they don't have a disk
right.
drive, you could have took all that space, all that room, and put something in it that made it different from the Series X. You know what I'm saying? Or made it just as powerful as the Series X, but it don't. You know what I'm saying? It don't got. It's not
Mhm.
huge. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different methods and ways they could have went about it, but they
They
slacking.
are slacking on that. And I think honestly, like with the fact that it's now coming in carbon black, I feel is kind of an insult. They should have had carbon black like from the get go.
Mhm.
Cause I have the white Series S and that thing is dirty. Like if I don't clean that thing and keep that thing polished and wiped down, fingerprints, dirt shows up on that thing like no tomorrow. The only thing
Yeah.
I do like about the series is just the size. That's literally the only thing I care much about the Series S was its size. But Xbox's showcase, in my honest opinion, it was kind of mediocre at best. They had a couple good games, but most of these titles aren't going to be like gotta have and you have to go and buy it because
Mhm.
they're going to be for other consoles, they're going to be for other platforms. You have the Steel, the Wake of the Deep, that looks like a interesting indie, I don't want to say indie, but like it looks like a first person thriller that might be cool to check out. Just saw it. And I guess we should probably conclude this video by talking about Starfield just a little bit,
Mhm.
because Starfield took up quite a bit of time in the whole showcase to a point where it really felt for me. And this is not saying it's a bad game. I think it's going to be great. It's a mix of, for me, it feels like a mix of like No Man's Sky, a bit of what Outer Worlds was going to do. Outer Worlds felt like a prototype to this, and it feels like your
Mhm.
typical, what you would get from a Bethesda game, such as Fallout or Elder Scrolls, but more space like.
Mhm.
But they spent so much time selling me on the game, showing so much, but when I watch it, and we'll probably talk about this further in a future video, I feel as if like it feels like when they released Fallout 4 for the first time, where their entire showcase was talking about all of these cool things that you can do. But
Mhm.
knowing Bethesda's games, they're gonna feel, I hate to say it, roughly the same. If you catch what I'm getting at, like you know
Yeah.
what you're signing up for when you get a Bethesda title. But what did you think of Starfield for what you looked at? If you looked at anything on it,
Well, it looked okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be a game I necessarily am gonna play, but it looked all right. Bethesda has some all right games, so they put their work in here and there. So we just gonna see how it turns out. Shoot. So I hope it's great. I do, but I don't think it's a title I'm gonna really be focused on like that.
right? For me, time will tell. I may end up getting a shot, but like this is also on PC and Xbox.
Hmm.
So hey, you could just get it on PC. But
Mhm.
anyway, we're gonna end this particular video talking about the Xbox Showcase. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. Let us know if you guys enjoyed it. Let's give a score on this out of 10. How would you rate the showcase?
Mm. It was real meh for me, you know what I'm saying? But I can't do Xbox that dirty. At least they trying. But honestly, I go like it was like a 7 for me.
That that's actually kind of what I was about to give it. Is like, I think the only things kind of holding it up was Starfield and
Hmm.
a couple of the titles we haven't heard of yet.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I could care less about a lot of the simulator parts.
Like compared to all the other showcases, like I'm talking about like the excitement in the showcases. I didn't see much of that with Xbox,
Hmm.
so it's like it's like you can see him struggling. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Shoot.
Exactly. But yeah, anyway, we're going to end this video here. Thank you guys for watching, and feel free to tune in because we'll probably talk about the other ones that also happened, which is Capcom, and just giving our thoughts and opinions on that. But we will talk to you guys later, and peace.
Yes, sir.